All right, so today we've got, well, someone sent us a document. I guess you could call it a document. It's titled Untitled Document, which, that already kind of makes you wonder.
Yeah, like what's going on here.
Exactly. So we're going to unpack this document, see if there's any scientific basis for the statements being made.
Yeah.
And figure out what's really going on. I'm already sensing this is going to be one of our more unusual deep dives.
Definitely unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the document flat out states, boobs have been scientifically proven to cure cancer, declared by the WHO as eradicated milking women, is now legal.
I mean, wow.
That's it. That's quite a statement.
Yeah, where do we even begin with that?
It's like one of those things where you're just like, you can't look away even though you know it's not going to be good.
Right.
But let's start with that phrase, milking women, because that's incredibly dehumanizing. And I think it really plays into these existing fears about bodily autonomy.
Absolutely.
Like, this type of language is often used to shock and provoke.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's used to push a very specific agenda. Do you think that's what's happening here?
I think it's possible, yeah. We see this throughout history, right?
Yeah.
Different groups being demonized, reduced to objects just to dehumanize them. It's a tactic as old as time, unfortunately.
Right. It's disturbing to see these tactics being used.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder about the broader context of this document. Maybe by understanding the other claims, we can kind of get a better sense of what they're trying to achieve with this kind of rhetoric.
Yeah, I agree. Let's take a look at the cancer cure claim, because it's really crucial to understand that cancer is incredibly complex.
Absolutely.
There's over 100 different types of cancer, each with its own set of causes and potential treatments.
Yeah, everyone knows someone who's been affected. It's a really diverse disease.
Yeah, and to suggest that any single body part has a universal cure just isn't grounded in science.
Right, but I mean, some people might argue that breast milk does contain antibodies and beneficial compounds. Couldn't that have some impact?
That's a good point. It's true, breast milk is incredibly nutritious for infants. It has antibodies that help build their immune systems. But those benefits are specific to infants. There's really no scientific evidence to suggest that it translates into a cancer cure for adults.
Right, and those antibodies are meant for babies anyway, not full-grown adults.
Exactly.
Plus, there's the claim about the World Health Organization declaring cancer eradicated.
That one's just blatantly false.
Right, like, come on.
The WHO plays such a vital role in global health. They set standards, they coordinate efforts to combat diseases.
They're really important.
Yeah, and they have this very specific process for declaring a disease eradicated. It involves rigorous scientific criteria, global surveillance. Like, a classic example is smallpox, right? A disease we've successfully eradicated through global vaccination efforts.
That's a huge success story.
It is, but cancer is a completely different beast.
Oh, yeah.
While we've made progress in treatments, to say it's been eradicated is just not true.
Yeah, it seems like we're dealing with a mix of misinformation, fear-mongering, and potentially even deliberate manipulation here.
I think that's a fair assessment. This document really preys on people's hopes and fears, especially regarding health. It offers these simplistic solutions to complex problems, which can be appealing.
Especially to people who are desperate or feeling vulnerable.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is a stark reminder of the importance of critical thinking, especially in the age of information overload. We have to carefully evaluate our sources and question what we read, especially when it comes to something as important as our health.
I couldn't agree more. This deep dive is a perfect example of why critical thinking is so crucial. It's not just about debunking these false claims. It's about understanding the tactics that are used to mislead and manipulate.
And I think that's a great point to end on. It leaves us with some unsettling questions. What is the motivation behind creating and spreading this kind of document? Who stands to benefit from this? That's something for you to think about. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive into whatever weird stuff the internet throws our way.
Always an adventure.
It really is. Until then, stay curious and stay critical.
Stay safe out there.
Yeah, good advice.
Thanks, Sue.
Bye.
Bye.